And we are live. Hello, good night, welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Friday to each and every one. Thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate each and every one of you. Happy Friday to those in television land. Happy Friday to our silent supporters. Really appreciate each and every one. And happy Friday to those in the chat. Sorry for the late start, but work, and I have not even gotten out of my uniform, literally just run through the door and downstairs. So thank you so much, guys, for joining. As you can see, the topic for tonight, um, Baron will be going into his discussion. Let me just bring this up here. Welcome, Maricela from Team Happy. Thank you so much for joining. Really appreciate you. Truck Life, welcome, welcome. Happy Friday to you. Thank you so much for always tuning in. Really appreciate you guys being here. And the topic is first degree number 3 charges for Rushawn Patterson. And Baron will be going into discussion for that. So I'm just gonna hand over to Baron and just do a bit of housekeeping. So and those over on Facebook, sorry, welcome, welcome. Happy Friday. Thank you so much for joining in. Really appreciate you guys joining in. Thank you. Sharon, welcome, welcome. Happy Friday. Cooking with Miss Brown, welcome. Thank you so much for joining in. Really appreciate it. Okay, Baron, over
All
to
right,
you.
all right, all right. Audience, once again, welcome to another Friday as usual, right? And I want to say a big thanks for all the persons who have joined us thus far, right? And as you see the thumbnail there, right? As we talk about premeditated murder, number 3, probable cause as it relates to that. However, earlier this week, we were shocked by a particular news when we heard that Rushawn Patterson, right, um, was innocent as it relates to the information that was out there, right? And of course, by the end of the week on Thursday, again, Popeye Newslink reassure us as it relates to certain information, because that was really a surprising to me, right? And so then, of course, right, based on the evidence that we have seen so far in social media space, and I want to say something before I even go further in the topic, right? That what we are discussing here tonight is, of course, what is considered the court of public opinion, right? And there is no vlogger who is going to know more information than the crime scene investigators who are investigating the actual crime scene. Reason being, because for the obvious reason, right? Vloggers are not the crime scene investigators. Vloggers, from time to time, will give tip, and as I, always say that, right? Based on information that they receive either from subscribers, either from persons who have knowledge of certain situation. And so sometimes, of course, you will have information that's sort of misconstrued, right? So not every information that processed through, you understand, can be validated, right? So the vlogger responsibility is really disseminating information to the populace, right? Depending on the source, right, of all that vlogger achieve it. One of the reliable source as it relates to information received is Popeye Newslink. And once again, big up to Popeye Newslink and big up to other vloggers, who are doing their thing, the Jamaican Buzz, the Politics Watch, and we name it. There are quite a few of them, right, who are relevant, right, on the spot news media. You understand? And they are doing some hard work, right, in terms of getting the information out there. They are, for me, 95% of the time, right, these vloggers are going to get it right, right? There are a few occasions they might be half a bit, right? Don't beat them, because that is how information, process itself. Sometimes you get all of the data correct. Sometimes you might have a little 10% off, and so forth and so forth. We know how information stays as it processes, right, through the grapevine, right? But having said this, normally when I'm taking my listeners through, I want my listeners to understand where Mystic Sensation is coming from as a channel, right? Our objective is to put out the best information possible, right, based on the source that we attract that information from as well. So having said this, if you notice that last week, right, we were talking about the very same situation with Rushawn Patterson, right, and certain things being developed. So what I'm going to get into tonight is for my listeners to have an holistic understanding, right, as it relates to the criminal justice system and as it relates to certain wording, as it relates to law, right? And so then when we have that general understanding, right, then of course you can have a better perspective in terms of, why certain terms were used. So now we are going to discuss Rushawn Patterson as it relates to, right, the crime committed as it relates to Slikianna. Now we know that the police listed him as a person of interest. Now, prior to the police list Rushawn Patterson as a person of interest, the police would have to have certain probable cause, reasonable cause, right, to do that before listing him as a person of interest, right? So it may be based upon certain information received and certain evidence that the police, the investigators would have verified. And so they feel comfortable, the police force feel comfortable at the time, right, to list Rushawn Patterson, right, as a person of interest. Now, it extends beyond that now. Now that we know that Rushawn Patterson is in custody. So the stage that we are now at an interviewing stage. We have heard before, right, that that Rushawn Patterson interviewed as what he claimed, right? Remember I said that Rushawn Patterson is quite elusive, right? And we made mention of that last week, right, in discussing, right, based on what the lawyer was saying, and that he was questioned, right, without being cautioned. So all of these terminologies, right, as it relates to caution and so forth, right, I am going to explain. So when we talk about probable cause, what does that mean? Probable cause simply means reasonable grounds to make an arrest or to charge an individual. So that's what probable cause is. Now, to the fact that we are now into the interviewing processes, right? Now, as it relates to interrogation, right, that is going to, question and answering session that is going to be done. What that is going to do, that is going to assess whether the police moving forward with a charge based on the question and answer in the presence of his lawyer. Now, the investigators are going to be very careful because there is a prescribed procedure in law as it relates to interrogating, right, an accused person. One of such process is that you have to read the person, right, is among the rights, right, or caution the person, right? Now, the police, before doing that interrogation, right, in the presence of his lawyer, would have cautioned him. Remember, yesterday, last week, I explained what the caution is. Do you wish, you're not obliged to say anything unless you wish to do so. Whatever I say will be taken down in writing, and so forth and so forth, right? He can choose, right, in terms of certain question that the lawyer will guide him on in terms of how he answered that. So when that session completes, automatically what will happen is that the police now will make a decision whether or not, right, based on the questioning and answer session, all right, we are going to charge him. Now, since I explained that, I am going to go into, as it relates to my experience as a criminal justice person, right? My experience based on my faculty, based on my degree, right? And so then I am saying this, not to the fact, and so let me make that categorically clear, not to the fact that Byron has any evidence, right? Because remember, I am not on the crime scene, right? I wasn't the person who processed any form of evidence, but I am just utilizing my experience, you understand, as it relates to certain processes. So then when we look at that, right, based on this case and what we have out there in social media space, right, we are going to get into probable cause, right, possible grounds, right, where the charge can apply. And as you see on the thumbnail where I put premeditated, number 3, or first degree. So premeditated, number 3, first degree is the same thing. Why we call it first degree? In law, the reason why it is named first degree, it is if, right, the person put any form of plan, right, to, carry out, right, that number 3, right, to the fact that the person planned it, right, that is why you want to call it premeditated, or you want to call it first degree, to the fact that it based, right, on a plan, and the person execute the plan. So that is why we call it first degree. Second degree would normally, if said, someone and, 2 persons get into a fight and spontaneously, you understand, one, kill the other, right? Well, that is just basically second degree murder. There is no plan, you understand, to carry out, right, the number 3. So that is the difference between first degree and second degree. So now that I explained that, and if you notice on the thumbnail, I put premeditated, I put first degree. So there was a reason why for me to put that there based on the case that I am following on social media. Now, reason why I put premeditated, first degree, was to the fact that a week and a half prior to the demise of Slikianna, what had transpired was to the fact that Rushawn, right, connected with Slikianna, right, via Instagram, right, and basically was communicating to her. Simple mean, lowering her into his dragnet, right? So there can where you suggest that a plan, right, was in place for him to execute what he had executed. based on his Instagram communication, right? The police would have that information as it relates to that, right? That a week and a half, right? They have communication in terms of that. Get her to lure her in his dragnet and definitely execute. So let us look on ground one to charge, or the probable cause to charge this man, right? I don't know what is going on in the interview. Let me say that, right? I don't know what evidence the police have, and I don't know what level they are at. So let me say that clearly. But this is what I'm saying now. The probable cause that I'm looking on, if I should put myself into the investigator's shoes, right? There are a couple of probable causes, right, that I would look on as it relates to charging this person, right, for first degree. Now, let me just bring you back to the communication that the interview process that Popeye had with Rushawn. Now, the interview process what Popeye had with Rushawn, we had learned that, as according to what Rushawn stated that the last time he had seen Slikianna was after, finish having that fish meal, and roughly about 9:30 there, right, was the last time he had seen her. If you notice on one of the thumbnails that I put out, I put fabricated alibi. There's a reason for me to put the fabricated alibi. It's because of this. Now, when you look on the communication, right, and where the communication would have started from, right, somewhere there in between 12:17, right, there. So when you look at that, in terms of the police investigation, and this is how you understand one of the probable cause that I would be looking on, you understand, to charge him. When the police would have might be done their investigation as it relates to the cell tower and try to have an understanding whether both phones were in the same location. So remember, if he had said that we all saw that 9:30 was the last time he had seen her. So then if the investigators, right, discovered based on their investigation that the cell tower at 12:17 a.m. link both phones in the same location, what would that suggest? That would suggest that Rushawn Patterson has in its possession Slikianna's phone. Right? Now, we might not can tell specifically whether or not Slikianna was number 3, right? But we know that we can spring a timeline as it relates to what he said. So the last time he claimed, the last time people, so not him now, how we're going to build that timeline as it relates to Slikianna's death is the witness who had saw both Slikianna, eyewitness who saw both Slikianna and Rushawn somewhere between 9:30 there, right? And might be that is one of the reasons why Rushawn claimed that the last time he had seen Slikianna was 9:30, because Rushawn would have aware that he was observed with Slikianna 9930. So saying that would have been corroborating to what the person said. So you can see that Rushawn Patterson is thinking, right, and try to, corroborate some evidence, right, and try to throw off the police, you understand, in terms of misleading the police. So when he inject 9930, he was just appealing to the time as it relates to the time the witness had seen, right, them at the fishery, right? So remember that he spent most of his time on social media. So then he would have heard those discussions and have an understanding of what being communicated over social media to say that witness saw him in between that time period. So when he having that interview with Popeye, it was easy for him now to inject that time, corroborating with the witness time. You understand, to say, okay, the witness saw me 9930. Well, 9930 was the time when I took her from there and drop her off at Hopewell, right? So he's not guilty. So that is what he wants to claim. You have to understand how, you understand, he's trying to be elusive. But what is going to tie him to the evidence is if the police find out that at 12:17 a.m. during the communication, as it relates to, as according to him, that him and Slikianna was communicating, right? Those phones were in the same location. That now is going to tie him to Slikianna phone. That also is going to prove that he lied when he claimed that the last time he had seen Slikianna was 9:30. You couldn't have seen Slikianna. You couldn't have seen Slikianna the last time at 9:30, when at 12:17 both phones were in the same location. So people, you understand, probable cause one, right, would have now tied him, right, to the death of Slikianna. Number one, he lied, right? Number two, he's in the position of Slikianna's phone. If the investigation proved that he fabricated, right, those messages. So what he had given to police, right, was the mistake that he had made doing that interview with Popeye, right? Giving clearly now that, okay, he has, if the information is fabricated, what does that mean? He has Slikianna's phone in his possession, right? So that would be a reason to charge him, a justifiable reason to charge him for Slikianna's death. Let us move to grounds number 2, right? What shocking to Rushawn Patterson was to the fact that Slikianna's body was discovered early, right? The following day, right, Slikianna's body was fished from the Redding Sea. Now, remember, we are not going to know every evidence that the police have, and the police is not going to communicate on every evidence that they have. Now, particularly where the forensic, right, expert comes in, right, what we call technical experts, right? Now, the thing is, to the fact that the body has not reached in terms of, high level of decomposition, decomposition, then, right, there are, certain contents of the body, right, that will be analyzed as it relates to, might be within the pelvic area, certain swabs would be done. Now, if any of those swabbies, if you notice, I'm saying if because I don't have the evidence, right? I'm not talking as if I have the evidence. If any of the swabs, right, as it relates to forensic expert swabbing for sperms and found that that sperms link to Rushawn DNA, that again is grounds, right, to charge him. Because again, if you go back to the interview that Popeye did with him, a lot of people might don't realize the seriousness of that interview, right? But let me tell you one of the seriousness about that interview, where he had said, when Popeye asked him, did you have sex with Slikianna? He categorically said no, right? Police may have asked him that, and he also tell the police no. I don't know if he tell the police no. They may have. And if that has been done, that would be written down, right? And will be used as evidence against him. So then, if the forensic expert now find such sperms from the swabs that matches to his DNA, probable cause to charge him again for Slikianna's murder. And that will be premeditated murder, because we know that he spent a week and a half communicating with Slikianna, right? And to lower her in his reach. The reason why, right, we know that it is premeditated murder. Number 3, let me take you back now to 2013. 2013, he had done something similar as it relates to a case that was pending against him, and where he was identified on an ID parade, where he had slashed the lady's throat and jumped over the lady's fence. That lady identified him. The reason why, right, he has not gone down for that particular charge was to the fact that the court, right, did not have, right, the opportunity of that person coming forward to testify. And as a result of that, right, you know, they have him walk. So it is not that he had beaten it on any form of technicalities or anything like that, right? It's simple walk because there was no one to testify against him. And basically, obviously, right, he's going to walk for the obvious reason. No one is there to testify. So when you look on his MO from 2013, that he fits that as it relates to cruelty against the feminine gender, right? And the motive that he carried out in terms of jumping over their fence and forcefully, jump over them fence, forcefully jump over them fence, let me put it that way, right? So you see that he has a particular MO, modus operandi. Modus operandi simply means, in criminal profiling, simply means a particular criminal who have a set pattern. So whenever that crime committed, you can say, okay, this is the person that commit this crime because of the pattern that exists. So when you hear about modus operandi, that's just simply what it means. Now, not only in 2013 that he had that situation, also, and this now begs me now to expound on something. People are concerned that, okay, the police have Rushawn in his custody and have not charged Rushawn as yet, put it that way, as yet, right, for number 3 against Slikianna, right? But what the police carefully did, based on the pattern set from 2013 and other reports in between that, right? on the 2018 case. And subsequently, the police may have new evidence comes in with the 2018 case. What the police did was to utilize a fabulous strategy, which I would have utilized, right? So that you charge him for the 2018 because you have no evidence, added evidence that might be the police did not have before, right? But because of the Slikianna case comes up, certain things comes unrooted again, person might decide to go in and give the police additional evidence. So based on this additional evidence, right, the police now charge, right, Rushawn for the 2018 attempt as well. So then when you look on the 2018, right, and with now Slikianna situation and many other situations, you are seeing the MO playing out where Rushawn Patterson is concerned. The modus operandi, right, of a serial rapist. Now, let us look into the chat and see if we can, answer some persons, and then we move forward.
Welcome.
All right.
Welcomes that's going on.
So,
okay, again, welcome everyone. Happy Friday to each and everyone, and also happy Veterans Day to all the veterans and to those who have family members who are veterans. Happy Veterans Day. So just gonna welcome again Truck Live, happy team, welcome. Sharon, Miss Brown, welcome, happy Friday. Arlene, welcome, happy Friday. Green Nation is in the building.
Bless myself,
coming
Green
in
Nation.
fast. I'm gonna tell us they're coming fast. They want to exhaust behind the vehicle. Happy Friday to each and every one of you. Also, mixing with the Mofats, Chris Mo, welcome. Happy Friday. Oliver, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. Rocky Day, thank you. Welcome. Stacy and the D's, welcome. Ricardo, welcome. He's looking as usual.
All right.
Overton, son of a king. Happy Saturday to you over there.
Bless up, yeah. Bless up, Overton.
Welcome. Thank you so much for joining in. Mixing with Ali and Mali, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. And Anna from Happy Team, thank you. Happy Saturday to you. Just going through to see who's here. Juba Bruce, Love TV,
Bless
welcome.
Up, Juba Bruce.
Happy Friday to you. And NDS Stay Motivated Murray, welcome. Thank you so much for joining in. Really appreciate you being here. Hope I did not miss anyone. And for those over on Facebook, welcome, Jan. Happy Friday to you. Long time.
All right.
No see. Welcome. And Debbie Ann, welcome. Happy Friday to you. Thank you so much for joining. And Miss Yvonne Stevenson is in the building saying good night, everyone. Good night, Miss Yvonne. Happy Friday to you. Thank you so much for joining in. And yeah.
That's it. Okay.
So I didn't miss anyone. If I miss anyone, my apologies. Happy Friday again. And remember, guys, share out the live if you can. And if you're new to the platform, please show some support by subscribing. It would be greatly appreciated.
Okay. So what we are on, right? We are on as it relates to Rushawn Patterson's status, right? Anticipating charges to be laid, right, against him. And that charges that we suspect that is going to be laid is, of course, premeditated number 3 as it relates to Slikianna, or first degree number 3. However you want to term it, it's the same thing. All right. So we have given grounds 1 as it relates to the interview with Popeye, right, where if that proven based on certain investigation, right, that both phones were in the same location and that the data would fabricated as I believed it was, right? That is ground 1 to charge him based on that probable cause. Now grounds 2, right, when we're talking about the evidence as it relates to Slikianna's body being fished from the Redding Sea, and of course certain evidence elements would have been preserved, right? And of course, if obviously the forensic experts are going to get into that, right? Of course, they are going to swabs, right? For in the pelvic area, for sperms, and see if that match up with any DNA relating to Rushawn Patterson. Now, when we look, we are going to move to grounds number 3, right? Another grounds that also that the police would have used in terms of charging him as well. So let us go to grounds number 3. Now, how truthful that this evidence, let me use the word potential. How truthful as it relates to this potential evidence that we have heard, right? That there were some 3 fingernails, samples of fingernails were discovered in Rushawn Patterson vehicle. I don't know how truthful that it is, but let us utilize it because it is there on social media, and so then we are going to speak about another possible grounds. Now, for those 3 fingernails that were found in the car, right? I'm just getting imaginative now, right? Because I wasn't on the scene of the crime. I don't know what took place. But what would have caused the separation of those nails, right? Might be forceful interaction. Now, can you imagine if someone is trying to, forcefully, jump over your fence, as it relates to the ladies? Maybe the lady would be resisting, or if that person is putting something to choke you, right? And to suppress your breathing, right? You'd want to cling on onto that person, right? To try to make sure that that person, sort of ease up that sort of force or that sort of pressure being applied. Under such circumstances, right, it wouldn't be surprised in terms of her nails separating, right? And so then, as a result of her defending herself, right, try to fighting off such force, right? And so then that now would be, that sort of evidence that, of course, the forensic simple and the investigators, so to speak, would look on that evidence, collect that evidence, and see if it can match up with, of course, Slikianna. So if they look on Slikianna fingers and realize that, okay, there's some breakage there, and those breakages are related to the nails that were found in his vehicle, then you know specifically that those nails that discovered by the investigators belong to Slikianna. That now is definitely grounds, right, to show signs of violence, force, or however we want to describe it, right? And so then, of course, that is another probable cause, right, to charge Rushawn Patterson for that crime, right? So regardless of what we heard, right, prior to us, prior to, me speaking, that, okay, Rushawn Patterson, right, has not been found guilty, is free, because there's no court process. I understand persons is saying that the police don't have any evidence to charge him. Now, we later learned that that is not the case, right? Interviewing process, right, is still ongoing. And for better understanding, right, we heard that he is going to be charged. So I am just putting out there as it relates to certain probable cause that we heard and that the police would have utilized if it is true, right? So let me say that these evidence right, as it relates to the fingernails and so forth, right? And if the swabs that done, right, evidence were collected to suggest, right, that okay, he is guilty of X, then we can see where that charge is coming. Now, so that is what we are going to discuss for Slikianna, and as it relates to Rushawn, possible as it relates to premeditated charge forthcoming. Now we want to get to discuss another issue as it relates to the politics, and we are going to get into some sort of situation as it relates to political representation that is flatline in our country. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to play a clip before we get into it and break it down to you, so you can just stand by, right, and listen to the clip, and then I am going to make a discussion. Kudos to TVJ, right, responsible for this clip, so let me say that. So we are going to get into the clip, and we're going to see what is there, and then we're going to speak definitively about it.
All right, so I'm just gonna share my screen. God, I'm having such a headache. All right. Okay.
With the announcement this week that parliamentarians will be allocated money to help address the garbage problems in various constituencies, the situation is becoming untenable in sections of Western Jamaica. Shamila Pullen has the details.
Cousins Cove in Hanover, this garbage pileup is almost as high as Ras Vegas's clothing store.
Them bigger than puss. You want to see the rat them how them big? So the rat them, you say them bigger than puss, brother. You see how them a jump and just ramp them around put them one another. You kill a generation this week and next week in another generation born. So we don't know how we ever get rid of them. Because I'm tired of chewing rat poisoning.
And frustration is growing.
See the rat them a dig down the whole of my shop side there, so I try to put cement there, but them still find a way and I dig down the whole thing and end up, you see that shop over there, so I did there in that, and I rat and mash it up. Them dig out the whole of the bottom, they don't have no more bottom. So you see right now, my shop become like the same thing out for reach my shop.
Situations like these can be seen in several communities in Western Jamaica. Public health officials are concerned.
We are fearing the outbreak of leptospirosis in communities. Presently, we are seeing an increase in gastroenteritis across the country in various regions. And yes, gastroenteritis is caused by bacterial virus or a virus. In children, it's caused by the rotavirus. In adults, by the norovirus.
In Parliament on Tuesday, Prime Minister Andrew Holness announced the allocation of $5 million to members of Parliament to address the issue of poor garbage collection in their constituencies.
A maximum of $2 million can be reallocated from this area, but I encourage members of Parliament not to do the reallocation, but to spend the $5 million on cleaning up as much as you can your constituency.
Additionally, the 50 garbage trucks which were purchased to boost the NSWMA's fleet should be in the island soon. The Prime Minister also said further allocation will be made to bring in more new trucks.
Even in lieu of that, Madam Speaker, even acknowledging that a new plan is close to fruition, I'm still not satisfied. I'm still very much concerned about the level of municipal waste that we see on our streets.
Meanwhile, Mr. Miles says until the situation is addressed, public health inspectors will continue to get resistance from community members who are not convinced that the inspectors are doing enough to address the problem.
Community members see them as change agents. And with the challenge of the pileup on the curbs and in the community, they feel that the public health inspectors are letting them down. And so, yes, we would have gotten reports of members being verbally abused by community members.
Shamela Pullen, TVJ
Okay,
News.
stop it. All right. Now, the reason for me to play this clip, right, is to say the least that this is what we call a middle class dilemma. Why I call it a middle class dilemma? The Jamaican citizen have been paid so much high taxes. As a matter of fact, overly taxed in the entire Caribbean, right? Jamaica, in the entire Caribbean, Jamaican citizen paying the highest tax level. So anyone who want to do the research, they can do the research. Jamaican citizen is paying the highest tax within the Caribbean basin. So then when you look at situation like this, right, that the burden of tax is on the middle class. And what we saw on the clip, the piling up of garbages does not only affect the Western Hemisphere of Jamaica. It's Jamaica island wide. It's Jamaica island wide. The other day when my wife and I went to Jamaica, right? We live into a gated community. And we have experienced the pile of garbage piling up. Now, just imagine that we are so heavily taxed. And this is the sort of representation that we are getting from our politicians. You know, the reason why I brought up this is for people to witness what Andrew Holness just said as it relates to 2 million, right? And another 5 million that he will use, right, to help with the cleaning up of the garbage or the piling of the garbage. People, let me remind you, right? Some time ago, right, I heard on our channel, right, the crippling situation with the SMA and the $34 million that were robbed from the budget. So people, you understand why they don't have the capital injection, right, to facilitate the cleaning process. That entity alone has lost over $34 million. So let me remind you, $34 million out of the SMA were subsequently robbed and put into 2 accounts, right, that have no relation to any form of cleaning up work or any contractor who were contracted, right, to do that work. Now the question that I'm asking, right, who get charged for that? Right? So when Andrew coming out, right, it is the hypocrisy of this man. Look, this has nothing to do with politics. You know? This has nothing to do with politics. This has to do, right, with a government who rigged of corruption, right? Nepotism, cronyism, and skullduggery, right? They have taken, just imagine people, that you have seen the piling up of garbages right around the island in Jamaica. And the reason for that is to the fact, right, that there's no money in the local government to do that. There's none because they robbed it. They robbed it and put it in their pocket. You have paper trail. People, I want you to listen to me. You have paper trail, and as investigators investigated, they have done their own audit in the SMA, done their own audit, and found out that $34 million being robbed. Now, it is not about the audit that you have done. You have done the audit and you have discovered, right, the variances. Now, what do you do, right, to the persons who are responsible? Because you have paper trail. The two accounts that were discovered that $34 million went to, right? What are the findings as it relates to giving us an update, right? Now, people, don't let Andrew Owners fool you. Let me also remind you what Andrew did, and I make sure I dig for that evidence and establish it to people so that people can hear. The Integrity Commission, Andrew's government makes sure that they silence them, right? Pass section 53, right, to silent the Integrity Commission. So then, as it relates to contract being awarded out, and if the Integrity Commission is to investigate wrongdoing, they must not come out publicly with that information, but they have to go through Parliament, right, before they can come out with such investigation. So then, having the investigators doing their report, and is going to send it through Parliament, which that report, they might be the subject of that investigation. So then, if the Parliament doesn't agree with the trajectory of the investigation, they're going to stop it, right? To say that, okay, they don't want to defame people's character, right? So these are the things that Andrew had done, because, you know, I mean, if Andrew wanted transparency in his government, why would Andrew Owen's government move towards silencing, right, the Integrity Commission? So then, in a case like with what going on SMA and the $34 million, you understand, that put away into account that have nothing to do, you understand, with any contract pertaining to SMA. Investigate the Integrity Commission, not supposed to speak about it. Not supposed to speak about it publicly. You see what I'm saying? So when you look now, you tell me now that, okay, you have accounts. That the accounts are solid paper trail. That you can track these accounts. And yet, as we speak, no one get arrested. Huh? No one get arrested. What is going on with the Jamaican people? Right? The government blatantly, right, damaging our lives as a result of this politics. Now, pay attention, people. The other day, what we had seen in St. Catherine, that Andrew Holness, and remember, I respect the office, but again, if the person in the office is corrupt, we are going to speak about the corruption. Remember, people, it is Andrew Holness, prior in Andrew Holness being the prime ministership, getting to the prime ministership 2016. What Andrew Holness said on one of his campaigns, he said, let me remind you what he said. He said, if any Jamaican who witness their government in corruption and don't say anything about it, it's as if they are equally corrupted like the government. So then, we have to speak about that. Now, in the Integrity Commission, also, involved have the responsibility to investigate statutory declaration. And every year since the Prime Minister being in power, Andrew Holness is not filing his statutory declaration on time. By law, it's an offense. So the question, Andrew Holness as the Prime Minister, who leading from the front, who want to set better example, and for the statutory declaration, right? Andrew Holness never yet been disciplined where that is concerned. As we speak, 2022, Andrew Holness has not yet declared his 2021. While the opposition, People's National Party, Mark Bolin, had already declared his long time. So then, what Andrew is saying in his action, to be indisciplined, to be corrupt, and breaking the laws. Because that's exactly what he's doing. Now, let me just remind you again, people. So then we have seen nothing done as it relates to the SMA losing over $34 million to that budget. We have seen nothing done. People, take a look. Remember we spoke about MO, modus operandi. Take a look now in the Ministry of Education if you don't see the same thing happen. Right? Andrew Holness, right, put in him friend who stole millions of dollars, right, from the Ministry of Education. And they have the audacity, right, fighting court, right, not to face the court, you understand, in answering for his crime. But they kick the can down the road, Now, let me ask a question. For the Jamaican people, particularly the middle class who are paying all of that tax, and we voted Andrew in, is this the type of representation that we are getting? Is this the type of representation we are getting? Where the island is stockpiled with garbage. Even the common decency to clean up people's community and make the community smell good. Exposing the people, you understand, to serious health issues. So tell me, how much the Jamaica Labour Party government care for us? Right? You have seen broken down bridges. And we are one member of parliament, you understand, disrespectfully, which is despicable behavior, right? Disrespect the man who asking him, you understand, as it relates to the bridge, right? And these are vital issues that we have. Vital issues that we have. Now, before I came down here, I look on the crime statistics, my Jamaican people. Okay, keep that. I look on the crime statistics. Let me read what Green Nation bloodshed. Patrick Wong did thief millions at NWA from China Harbor, and all they did was tell him to resign. Green, it is the MO of this government. The MO of this government, Green. The pattern of behavior, the corruption continues. Corruption in every angle. And let me show you how indisciplined the government is. I have now seen the security guards, right, are fighting so hard, right, for a Supreme Court ruling, right, so that they can be classified now, reclassified as employees as opposed to contractors. But let me go tell you the wickedness of what the government did. And why they do it was to the fact that most of these government persons, right, are owners of security companies, are connected to security companies and getting their kickbacks. Now, when it comes to overtime paid, it's a law that tabled a long time ago, that fought for by Michael Manley, who put that law in, that if you work any hours over your 8 hours, scheduled hours, you are to be paid overtime. That is an established law. That is an established law. But what the criminal security industry did, look what they did. And the government know the strategy, what they do, and they keep silent because the government is part and parcel of the corruption. So the security industry, right, formulate some so-called protectors are gatekeepers, drafting policy, right, and have the security employees reclassified as contractors, right? And so then, simple means them being contractor, they are not due to their regular benefits that are to be due to them. You crafting policies, right, into an institution or industry that go against, right, the constitutional laws that is well established within the Constitution, and the government sit and let that happen. That they craft their little policies, right?
Constitutional laws supersede all
right?
others.
They craft their little policies, right? And classify them, put them under classification, classify them as contract workers, right? And so then, the poor little security guard might be the working in the firm for 15, 20 years. You understand? Money being withdrawn from out of the security pay. The security might believe say my pay NHT and blah, blah, blah. When I'm ready, you understand, if you take out a little mortgage, nothing not did for them. Not a thing. And the government who we vote for, no, they know, they're aware, they are cognizant of that. And even now, just look on this government who's supposed to step in. And people, I don't know why, the security companies are looking on Carl Samuda, the Minister of Labour, for step in. Carl Samuda rigged with the corruption. And let me tell you this, I am talking this on my platform here, that you can stay and wait for Carl Samuda, right? Do anything about that. Carl Samuda, you understand? They get him belly full. Carl Samuda will never ever change. You remember what Carl Samuda did with the workers, with the farm workers in Canada, right? And he defended the Canadian farm owners. right? After the farm workers are appealing, begging out that, look here, the condition is not right. We are suffering. What Carlson Muda do? Carlson Muda defend and go against the Jamaicans. So people, that is Carlson Muda for you. Carlson Muda will never, ever going to change that. Now, I look on all angles and I'm seeing where they are trying, even although the Supreme Court pass it and pass the situation as it relates to the specificity where marksman is concerned. They now want to shape a narrative that it only goes for marksman and not holistically all security companies within the security industry. Can you imagine the blatant delay and the government just sit there, not stepping in and forcing forthwith that all security companies must follow the Supreme Court rule? Just imagine the highest court of the land, right? The highest court of the land ruled that the security workers are not to be classified as contract workers, but they are to be seen as employees so that their benefits can be due to them. And Andrew Holness, aware of the situation. Carlson Muda, aware of the situation. Desmond McKenzie, every single one of them aware of the situation, but they will not do anything because they also are owners of firms and they are getting kickbacks
Or they have shares in the firm.
from firm, or they have shares in the firm. So then they will not do anything and blatantly disrespect the Supreme Court ruling and now try to create a narrative as to say it only appeals to marksman as it relates to NHT carrying that lawsuit against them. Right? As if to say, then, if you breaks down, because that is illegal, what the Supreme Court is saying, let me tell you people, the Supreme Court is saying that under the circumstances that you classify these people as contractors, it is illegal. And that goes right across the board for all security company. Right? But again, these politicians and their friends, cronyism, skullduggery, the corruption lives on. That even now, before they honored the Supreme Court ruling, they stand in the way and they still decide that no, we have to enslave, you understand, the Jamaican people. We have to pressure them. We have to rob them.
For right on them back.
Right? Basically, that's what they are saying. And this government, right? So I want to know who is out there that after seeing all of this is going to vote for this government. To be honest, people, even if a dog run against him, the dog is supposed to win. Because one thing I will guarantee, that the dog is going to promise us that, look, if you don't vote for me, I'll go back. If you don't vote for me, I'll go back. And trust me, if you vote for the dog, you go hear barkings, the dog will go back. But if you vote for them politicians, all the promises that they promise, better life, you will live to sleep with your door open. People, you have seen the promises from years to years, and not only GLP party, PNP party involved in the same thing too. Right? They are both evils. And that's why what I dig for, that if I should fail a third party which is fresh and vibrant would have to feel me, right? Because we're tired of them too messy, right? And they are playing room for rent supply within. When you run out, I run in. You take fear, for me time to take for me. And that's all what they are playing with the people's life. Politics, mashing up Jamaica, right? Politics. Now, when we look and see the amount of gangs that exist in Jamaica today, the amount of mayhem, the last look I look on the statistics, Jamaica, crime has reached, the homicide rate has reached 1,300 and mash. Look now, 1,300 and mash. And yet the year has not been completed. Last year, where it was terrible, in completion of last year was 1,400 and mash. And yet we are going to have a repeat of that situation, right? And I don't know what sort of matrix that Andrew Holness is using in terms of, a performance level of his ministers. But if you look, right, Horace Chang has failed miserably. But can he dare fire him? He cannot fire him. And the primary reason for him cannot and will not fire them is because, obviously, they are in bed together. They are corrupted alike. Right? No better heron, no better crow. Right? And when I look, I only can classify this party without any hesitation. A party that has lost the trust of the people. A party that has suppressed the people. Right? And hear what Green Nation said. Where crime is concerned, Jamaica is in the top 5 in the world now. And that is under the tenure of the man who promised before get into power that we will able to sleep with our doors open. I am not blaming Andrew Holness for the crime situation as it relates to Jamaica. As far as I'm concerned, the crime situation has a history before Andrew Holness. It does, right? We have looked over 20 plus years of history that caught up in between both political parties, been there. And nothing has changed for the people. So what it says to the people, right? That we need to change course from these two parties. Because they neither have the solution, right? Or they neither have the vision. And the only thing that both parties have done is really mingled, you understand, in the taxpayers' money and make it worse for the people, right? And when we look, as what Green Nation said, Mystic them said that they are die-hearted. And I wonder, Green, what are you die-hearted about? Is it the color of the party you love? Because certainly for the die-hearted, I know that they don't love progress. Now, when we look on Tivoli Gardens for over 20 years, I want someone to tell me who knows Tivoli Gardens, what sort of progress Tivoli Garden made. When we take a look, right, in the Worker Hill area, what sort of progress Worker Hill made? And we are talking about over 20 years. When we look in the Riverton City, What sort of progress Riverton made? And if we come west and we look in to Montego Bay region, right? What sort of progress Canterbury made? Over 20 odd years. The locations that I've just spoken about are locations where dilated political activists strive. And striving for what? For over the umpteens of years. What progress have you seen? Now, if NHT even build homes, the strongest voting bloc for either PNP or GLP are most of the times those homes that NHT are building, you understand, is out of your affordability. And while that is so for umpteen of years, you are the one that keep on putting a party in power as it relates to JLP or PNP. And so then if you think that you have some serial dilated people who come from Tivoli, have they gotten any form of NHT home that take them out of their situation, that elevate their standard of living? Have you seen that? No. You continue to be poor. You continue to suffer. But when the political season come around, right, all the suffering gone through the door, and yes, I want to join the truck, I want to join the bus, come on the rally time, and that's why they continue. That's why they continue. And that's why the masses of Jamaica are not educated. If a government is striving for nation building, that government should strive so that the masses can be educated.
And be empowered through education.
Right? And as my wife said, be empowered via education. And so then if that is so, that the people will able, right, to make better decisions of themselves. Right? Now, most of the youths who are involved in a crime are delinquent from juvenile stage until now. And if you look into the penal system, it's a revolving door where those youths, even into adolescence, are concerned. They are back and forth prison, and they are the one who signature is all over the crime stat. Right? What the government is doing, the lack of opportunities.
Sure.
When you have university students graduated from university and cannot find themselves in an opportunity to absorb their skills and talent, right? And where they go to places to get work, they are telling them they have no experience. What sort of madness?
They're not qualified.
They are not, what sort of madness? Right? And at the same time, these politicians, right? Look at inflation. Now, if you have a level of inflation that we have, and if Andrew Holness, who claimed that he's wearing clerks, desert clerks, and so then he's like the common people, and if you have any care, right? Now, let me ask a question here. Who is going to ensure that Andrew Holness, a comprehensive audit done on Andrew Holness as it relates to the time he gets into politics? And I want people to understand something, bash me a bash. You understand? But when I see corruption is quite apparent, I have to open the people's eyes. And so let me say this. And I want for people to think, critical thinking. So let us ask a question now. We're going to ask the question. Andrew Holness became Prime Minister 2016. Prior to Andrew Holness became Prime Minister, whatever businesses that Andrew Holness owned weren't that profitable. Right? Weren't that profitable. Between a short space of time, 2016, right, and pertaining to his salary, as we speak now, and what he worth right now. Now, if you calculate his salary, him and his wife's salary, right, as opposed to what they worth right now, who is going to do that comprehensive audit? Right? Because it seems like even through COVID time, where every majority business crippled in COVID time, Andrew Holness business boom like hell. Right? And so then, to avoid transparency, you attack the Integrity Commission. Right? You attack them. Bypassing Section 53 to silence them as it relates to investigation, as it relates to contract awarding out. I just want people to understand where we are coming from. You know? Right? And so then when you look at that, the level of corruption, you would have understood now why, if one of his ministers blatantly done something wrong with his conscience, he couldn't go forward and charge them. Because, guess what? I know nothing. You understand? And then he will protect them because they don't want the Integrity Commission to defame their character. Can you imagine? The people who vote for him, people who put this government in, are not to know, right, when there are fandangles in the government. Right? But keep it quiet. Keep it quiet. Send it through the parliament. Let us review it first. No. How that come by? Previous government before you, Andrew, did not do that. Because those previous government stand out for transparency. They didn't do that. How is it so important to you to muzzle the Integrity Commission? Why? Right? I would better understand the situation if past government has done something like that. Or I would better understand the situation if the Integrity Commission has maligned someone's character. They have never ever done that. It is not like they have investigated someone and it was, you know, falsely done, right? And the person was wrongfully accused. The Integrity Commission has never done that. As a matter of fact, they are skillful lawyers who would have assessed a situation properly because they have the capacity to do that. And they have never been wrong before. So if they have never been wrong before, what would be the basis for you now to muzzle them? It doesn't make sense to explain. We understand why you do it. But you need to come out and tell the people why you do it. As we speak, we still cannot get any answer as it relates to the two accounts $34 million went to in the NSWA, right? And that's a paper trail evidence that, of course, you can establish the facts, right? And know what you have, what Jamaica have, garbage piling up all over, right? So it's fair for me to say to you that this is a garbage government, right? So then, I just want people to put on their thinking cap that the next time when you go to the poll, people will have to do it, at least to show some sign that we are serious. And whatever third party out there, people, that is serious, people, try a third party. Please, try a third party. Because none of these two parties that you have seen as it relates to history have done nothing towards the benefit of Jamaican people.
Sorry, Baron. Excuse me. Can someone in the chat, one of the moderators, just take care of those idle people for me, please?
All right.
Sorry.
Right? And so then we have to speak as we see it. We have to speak out. Right? Because look, we have crime on top of our head. You understand? And I want to know how can Jamaica be feasible for outside entrepreneurs coming into a crime-infested place to do any business? Right? For us to attract entrepreneurs coming from outside, we have to clean up the crime situation. We can clean up the crime situation because the man at the helm, you understand, not thinking through his head. Whatever strategy that he formulated as it relates to even the new gun amendment law, it is not working. Right? And I'm honestly is going to say that since he tried that, since he implemented that, we are seeing that the killing now increase in twos and threes and getting even more rapidly. So then what is the solution he's coming with? So at the end of the day, if we put a government in our government, we put someone in our government to lead and to guide us. And if we have to be defending and protecting ourselves and the government totally unable to do that, then people, all I'm saying, people, let us, right, divert to a better solution. Let us divert to a better solution. Not voting cannot be an option. Because guess what? If nobody no vote, he will still remain in power. He get the winnings. And if you vote for PNP, PNP is going there. And they're better than the JLP. We can tell you that. So then, what solution we have? It makes sense to say, boy, we don't want to give a third party chance and blah, 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 blah. The fact of the matter, we have never, ever done that in our history. And so then, we need to test that. We honestly need to test it. And so then we can, and listen, in order for us to do that, we should make sure that we give that third party mandates.
Yep.
And one of the mandates that we'll be giving them is that when they get into power, make sure that the previous government and certain suspicious behavior being investigated and audited. The people want to know how their money go. You understand? And I will, right, vote for a third party and give the third party a mandate to ensure that all suspected corrupted acts being investigated. And if that third party follow that mandate, right, of course, right, we, properly speaking, are the government, and we are the one who elect them in power. So this time, since they cannot set the trend, we need to set the trend. And that's all I am saying. Tonight, my piece of pie is over, right? And I'm glad that my listeners listen to me as usual. I really love you, right? And you are my ardent listeners. Thank you to come on board. For Jeopardy people, right now, Jeopardy is up. And thank you once again, all beautiful people, to listen to me. We appreciate you all to come on board. Thank you.
Okay. Again, thank you guys, each and everyone who's here. Really appreciate it. You could have been doing other things with your Friday night, as well as those who are here in the future, from the future, Saturday where they are. We really appreciate it. We don't take it for granted that you took the time out to be here. So thank you again. And as Baron said, we're going to go into Jeopardy. And thank you for the insightful contribution into the topic. I was highlighting them as we went along, and persons made some very salient and important points. So thank you. And yes, we are the government, and they are to serve us, and they are not doing what they're supposed to do. So it's time that they're held accountable. All right, so let me just bring up the Jeopardy template because we have started late. Again, my humblest apology, but work duty is of paramount importance. So as usual, we are always here no matter what. It has to be something very detrimental why we don't come. So again, thank you guys for joining us. All right, let me just open up the template here and then share my screen. Okay, and India is saying we have to hold them accountable. Tired of the foolishness in the country. Yes.
Exactly, India. We have to.
It's so embarrassing for us who are abroad and watching on what is happening. Just so ridiculous. All right, so let's
share the screen. Well, Truck Life realized 3 weeks prior you're budding up the place, you know, and keep on. So you're becoming such a large powerhouse, suppressing Ricardo. So let me see how it playing out tonight.
And Empress going to be jumping in soon.
All right.
All right, guys. So Jeopardy template. This is what it's looking like for this week. It's people of the Bible. So everybody who went to Sunday school, make sure so make a Sunday school teacher proud. And then famous Jamaican people, scientist jobs, brain teasers, and name the animal. Ricardo Sabira, don't call me name too early.
All right, my apologies, sir.
Okay, guys, so you know the rules. So, okay, Chuck Clive first threw that one out there. So again, just I'm going to go over the rules for a bit of housekeeping. So if the question is in the form of a statement, the answer is in the form of a question. If it's a place or thing, it is what is or where is. If it's the name of a person, it is who is. If you put what is for the name of a person in answering, it's going to be incorrect. So guys, please remember that, and you choose a category along with the amount of points that you need. Whoever answers correctly will choose the next category and for how many points, and it continues until the board is clean. All right, so I see Truck Life putting out their animals for 100. So let's see what's under there. So name this animal. Name that animal.
That animal causing problem in my life.
Let's see. Welcome, Sassy. Happy Friday.
Bless yourself, Sassy.
All right, so I see the answer that I am looking for. Makes it Christmas Eve squirrel cause problem in your life. All right, so I see the answer that I'm looking for. So what is a squirrel? And that is for 100 points. So let's see who first came in with the correct response. So let me just refresh here and see. Daniel Ricardo there. All right, so first on the board with the correct response is Ricardo, then Shrocklife, then Nova, and Daniel. All right, and that is the order in which they came in. All right, so Ricardo, choose the next category and for how many points? Shrocklife, so Ricardo come out strong. All right. Okay, so Ricardo is saying animals for 200. Name this animal. Name this animal. We don't have the video of him. On the rain was falling and it was on the road.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, name that animal. All right, I see the answer that I am looking for, so I am not going to delay in the interest of time. What is a beaver? So let's see, and that's for 200 points. So let's see who first came in with the correct response. Okay, first on the board with the correct response, and remember, not really marking for spelling, it is Ricardo.
Okay.
Then Shrocklife, then Daniel, then Sassy, and Sharon. Oh no, sure. Okay, so that is the order in which the answers came in. So Ricardo, choose the next category. Ricardo on fire tonight. Sir Ricky, hold your hand, please. Ricardo says animals with 300. Okay, name this animal or bird. Make sure you're all seeing it. Okay, so name that animal or bird. Jesus. I said, my road scholars, them man, and just I run out by me. So, what is a woodpecker? So, and that is for 300 points. So, let's see who first came in with the correct response. Okay, first on the board with the correct response is Ricardo. Him coming back with a vengeance. Yes, it look like him make sure him to be beside him spaceship for him alien Wi-Fi.
No, sir.
Fingers went into look like him carrying fingers to go gym during the week. Then Chuck Life, Rackety, thank you for still being here, Rackety. And Dion mixing Nova, yeah. Daniel. Daniel said, Ricardo, please. All right. Oh, Diana said, Sister said, where's Charlie? He wasn't feeling well last week, so I'm not sure if he's not feeling well again this week. All right. So Ricardo is saying animals for 400. Okay. So it's a double point answer. So name this animal. Double point answer. That is the Ricardo. Pause your finger. All right. Welcome, welcome, Empress. Happy Friday to you. How are you
Bless
doing?
yourself, Empress.
How are you doing? Hope you had a wonderful and productive week. I see you went in the closet again this week and pull out a different and pull out a different garment. No, I see. Okay, I see the answer that I am looking for. So let me see. I'm just going to reveal the answer. So what is a hippopotamus? If you put hippo for short, I will take that. So, and that is a double point answer. So it's going to be 800 points. So let's see who first came in with the correct response. And Empress is saying big up and Baron, big up Empress.
Bless up, Empress.
Under love. All right. So let's see who first came in with the correct response. Make sure I go way up because I don't want anybody shouting at me in any tone of words. Right, so that's where it started. Nope. So first on the board with the correct response of hippopotamus is Empress for 800 points. Then Ricardo. Okay, thank you, Jules. Thank you so much for still being here. Says she's in the background. No.
So Empress. Okay, so the score as it is, Ricardo on 600 points, Empress on 800 points.
Osh, Daniel. Okay, what did Mixin say? Okay. Be careful on the run. And the animal, the small man, me almost say a rat. Osh. Okay, all right. So, Empress, choose the next category and for how many points? You want back animals? I guess she's finishing animals. All right, so animals for 500. Name this animal. Let me just bring it up a little bit more. There we go. Name that animal. Right, and I see the answer that I am looking for. What? All right. So, what is a raccoon? Take a look again. You see that mask?
It's a Rocky Raccoon.
All right, so what is a raccoon? And that is for 500 points. So let's see who first came in with the correct response. Like everybody mostly running with that, so I have to refresh. Okay, animals. So first on the board with the correct response for 500 points is Truck Life.
All right, the boss.
Then Mixin, India, Daniel, Ricardo, Rakide, Ricardo,
So
and then Empress corrected herself there.
there you go, the score as it is, Truck Life on 500 points, Ricky Ricardo 600 points, Empress on 800 points. Empress is in the lead. Yes, Truck Life, choose a category.
Ricardo say, as Baron call me name, so me a drop back. Oh my goodness. And the Truck Life is saying teasers for 100. Okay, all right, let's see what's on the teasers. All right, so it's almost like riddles. But think about what is being said. Think about it. If there are 3 apples and you take away 2, how many apples do you have? If there are 3 apples and you take away 2, how many apples do you have? Think about it.
You take care.
You say 1, 2. All right, so I see the answer that I am looking for.
What you want, Ricky? About 1.
All right, so the answer is 2. I said, think about it. there are 3 apples, and you personally took away 2 apples. How many apples do you who took the 2 apples have? So you have 2 apples.
Exactly.
So I said, think about it.
Think about it.
Welcome, Natty. Happy Friday to you. Thank you so much for joining. Really appreciate you being here.
All right.
No call me name, sir. Makes him say, oh, what is man, lol. All right, let's see who first came in with the correct response of 2. All right, let me go all the way up. Gotta say, watch one of this Byron. Oh my God. Oh, we gotta say here, oh Byron, happy for truck life.
Ricky, I go on a man of bridging. I want to go on to say Ricky.
Then watch me put koala. Oh my God, Hush Empress. All right.
Ricardo, get it on.
So Ricardo, yes. So Ricardo got it. What is 2?
How much?
And that is
100?
for 100 points. Let me release the board. All right. So,
So the score as it is: Truck Life on 500 points, Ricky on 700 points, Empress in the lead, 800
Okay.
points.
So we had the Empress that came in with that, and Daniel. Okay. Well, since when me I drive, I'm not thinking of be careful on the road mixing. Be careful.
Because it's a bar, no coming in because they laugh and miss one. Of course.
It's a bar, I'm going to beg your leg of my name in a big tone of words. Oh my God. All right. Brain teasers. Then there's laughing. All right. So Ricardo is saying scientist job for 200. All right. So let's see what's under scientist job, and it's for 200. I study weather, forces of nature, and the atmosphere. What scientist am I? I study weather, forces of nature, and the atmosphere. Can I get a pen out of that container, please? We did all of that. I finished that. All right, and I see the answer that I am looking for. So I am just going to reveal the answer. Who is a meteorologist? Remember, guys, person is who is. All right, so who is a meteorologist? And that is for 200 points. So let's see who first came in with the correct response. All right, so first on the board with the correct response is Ricky Ricardo.
And how many
Then
points for that?
mixing 200.
200?
Then mixing. Okay, corrected the spelling, not marking for spelling, as long as we know what you were saying. And Empress, Daniel, Mofat said, what is? Remember, Mofat, it's who is.
Okay,
and
so
got that who is.
The score as it is:
Dancing.
Truck Life 500 points, Empress 800 points, Ricky Ricardo in the lead 900 points.
Okay, hush, Empress. All right, so our internet started loading just as the question was going to be asked. All right, so Ricardo is saying people of the Bible for 300. All right, people of the Bible for 300. This nameless woman is known for being turned into a pillar of salt.
Okay.
This nameless woman is named for being turned into a pillar of salt.
Who is that?
Right. All right, let's see all the people who went to Sunday school, make the Sunday school teacher proud. She wasn't teaching in vain, or he wasn't teaching in vain. All right, I see the answer that I am looking for. So I'm just gonna, who is Lot's wife? And that is for 300 points. So let's see who first came in.
Not bad, the points value.
Everybody went to Sunday school and everybody was paying attention and listening. All right, so Chocolate Ricardo is all over the place and laughing. So first on the board with the correct response is Ricardo, and that is for 300 points, who is Lot's wife, then Nova, Truck Life, India, Meet the Williams family, Daniel. Ricardo said, "Me they all over the place. Truck Life confuse the enemy. I wonder who's the enemy at Truck Life." Me uncle out Sunday school. All right.
All right, so the score as it is, Truck Life on 500 points, Empress 800 points, Ricky Ricardo in the lead, 1,200 points.
All right. All right. So Ricardo is saying people of the Bible for 200. This guy got tossed overboard and swallowed by a big fish. This guy got tossed overboard and swallowed by a big fish.
Long time I fishing.
Okay.
Will you miss one? This one?
And two.
Two?
They're there, but I forgot to.
Okay.
So now let me pay attention to the chat. Look, may I tell you? Sunday school teacher proud. Everybody was paying attention. All right, so it is who is Jonah, and that is for 200 points. So let's see who first came in with the correct response of Jonah, and the amount of Jonah I see on the board. All right, let me just refresh to make sure I get it in the right order as to how it came in. So first on the board is Ricardo and Empress, Ricky Day, Nova, Mixin, Truck Life, and that's for 200 points. Natty, Williams, Daniel, Truck Life, India, Natty. It was very competitive.
So,
and Kimberly, welcome. Happy Friday
bless
to
yourself,
you. Thank
Kimberly.
you so much for joining in. Really appreciate you being here.
all right, so the score as it is, Truck Life on 500 points, Empress 800 points, Ricky Ricardo in the lead, extending his lead, 1,400 points.
And he is saying no scientist jobs for 300. Really hip hop. All right. I studied different chemical elements, what they are made of, and how they work together in our bodies and the surrounding world. So I studied different chemical elements, what they're made of, and how they work together in our bodies and the surrounding world. Name the scientist.
Name the scientist.
May I tell you some Rhodes scholars, them man, trust me. Them need to get a scholarship. All right, so I see the answer that I'm looking for, and it is who is a chemist. And that's for 300 points. All right, so let's see who first came in with the correct response. So first on the board with the correct response running in is David. Welcome,
right.
David. Happy Friday to you. And Ricardo, please don't ask me how I'm so happy for David. David just came in.
Leave the man alone, Ricardo. Leave the man alone.
Happy welcome.
Leave the man alone. Bless up yourself, David.
So David, then Truck
How much
Life,
points that?
that was for 300 points. And Truck Life and Andy as well coming. Kimberly again, thank you. Daniel, so where is my point?
Oh,
Daniel. And then mixing. Daniel is laughing. Ricardo, corrected the spelling. Wait. Let me go back up. Okay, now Ricardo. Empress, Natty, Rakide, India. So everybody got that one.
So there you have it. The score as it is. David just running 300 points. Truck Life 500 points. Empress 800 points. Ricky Ricardo Still in the lead, 1,400 points. Now, David, choose a category.
You are very welcome, Kimberly. And David is saying, good night, people. Ricardo said, bombard, nothing else. You hear, oh no, happy for David. You hear me say never went to say anything. All right, it says he finally home. Okay. All right, so let's see. Empress say, yay, welcome, David. Happy to have you.
All right.
David said, truck life, work from home done for me, and only night shift such man put me pan.
Can you
Such
imagine,
man put
David?
me one. He set you up, David.
Set you up, David.
Shame on you, Ricardo. And David is saying brain teasers for 200.
All right.
What breaks yet never falls, and what falls yet never breaks? Think about it. What breaks yet it never falls, and what falls yet never breaks? All right, I see the answer that I am looking for. So I will just reveal the answer in the interest of time. It's what is morning and night. So day and night, same thing. So people are putting it as day and night, but it's the same thing. So what breaks yet never falls, and what falls yet never breaks. All right, so, and that is for 200 points. So let's see who first came in with the correct response. And I'm telling you, these brain teasers, they're doing fabulous at it. I don't have anybody shouting at me about it so far.
So what's the points that going for?
That was for 200
200
points. Yes, I'm just trying to see who first came in with it. Need to start from where it was requested so I don't miss anything. All right, so first on the board with the correct response is Empress for 200 points.
All right.
Then Nova didn't get to finish that. Danielle, Kimberly. Yep.
So the score as it is, David on 300 points, Truck Life on 500 points, Empress 1,000 points, repeat Ricardo in the lead, 1,400 points.
Oh, David Simpson, circle back. Okay, David, no problem. Empress is requesting brain teaser for 500. Brain teaser for 500. So
Empress
let's
a little
see.
big.
A cowboy rides into town. Think about it, people. A cowboy rides into town on Friday. He stayed in town for 3 days and rode back out on Friday. How is this possible? How is this possible? Mr. You can't hold them up. All right. So I see the answer that I am looking for. So let me reveal the answer. Oh my goodness.
Okay.
What is the horse's name? Is Friday. All right. So you guys are thinking, and rode back out on Friday. Okay. So that is for 500 points. So let's see who first came in with the correct response. All right. So, okay, so brain teaser started there. All right, so the first person with the correct response is Ricardo. Empress started what is Friday, but she didn't put it as it should go. So what is the horse's name is Friday. So Ricardo, 500 points. Then Empress corrected that.
500 points for Ricardo?
Yeah, then Truck Life. Okay. All right, yeah. So Kimberly got it as well. Williams family say mad.
All
All
right.
right.
So there you have it. David on 300 points. Shot Life 500 points. Empress 1,000 points. Ricky Ricardo extended his lead 1,900 points.
Right. So he's requesting People of the Bible for 400. All right. This man is known for his dream interpretations and for a colorful quote. This man is known for his dream interpretations and for a colorful quote. Come, people, make your Sunday school teachers continue being proud.
Richard, eat the food.
All right. And I see the answers that I am looking for, so I am not going to delay. And it is, who is Joseph? So, and that is for 400 points. So let's see who first came in with the correct response. I'm just going to refresh there. So first on the board is Ricardo, then Nova. So Ricardo, 400 points.
Okay.
Nova, Empress, Truck Life, Kimberly. Okay, Kimberly, you have to make sure you put who is before answer it in the form of a question. People is who is. Places or thing is what is or where is. Daniel said Ricardo come out Fiona. And Williams, Natty, who is Joseph, yes. Ricardo said me have them up, Daniel, 3 weeks now. Such man a win and me can't allow that. Come back with a vengeance.
So Ricky Ricardo come back with vengeance tonight.
Chuck left him out for you.
My goodness.
Chuck left said, Daniel, this is the Ricardo I know him a burn fire. Kimberly said, okay, thank you, you're welcome. Oh, Nova said she posted before Ricardo. Hold on. Let me just refresh it again. Let me see. No, Nova, refresh your chat because you're gonna see yourself posting first if you don't refresh your chat. Refresh it and then look again, and then you'll see that Ricardo posted before you, and then you came right after Ricardo. So refresh the chat and you'll see the order.
Okay.
All right, so Ricardo is saying science job for 400. So I study life in all its different forms and how organisms relate to their environment. Sorry, I study life in all its different forms and how organisms relate to their environment. Name the scientist. Excuse me, guys. One bit, sorry.
Yes, look on the Bragg Sparks. The Bragg Sparks are coming in. All right. And yes, the answers are there. All right, all right. Ricardo, we are telling me shh. For me not stop talking. You know. What you bad me up for? You so me call your name and I make your window. All right, yeah. The answer is there. So I said, talk, yes, Byron, know what I mean? You know, if I'm flinging 1 or 2 times, I can't make it those dead such a line. Love, where is it? Where is it? So that's a Byron, top of nice.
All right. All right. So, Arlene, thank you so much for still being here. Ricardo is saying, what's the score since you want to talk?
All right. The score, David on 300 points, Truck Life 500 points, Empress 1,000 points, Ricky Ricardo in the lead 2,300 points. While the Colonel, I put on back him strike them.
What are we film Shulang? Truck Life said, talk yes, Baron.
Yeah, you want silent me,
You
Truck
want
Life.
shushu?
Boy, my
All right. Let's see. All right. Let me just refresh again. I don't think I refresh. So I see the answer that I am looking for. So who is a biologist? And that's for 400 points. So let's see who first came in with the correct response of who is a biologist. Okay, guys, thank you so much for those who are over there on Facebook. Really appreciate you guys being here. All right, so first on the board with the correct response, it's here, we're moving back and forth just to make sure. With the correct response is Truck Life, and that is for 400 points. Then
okay.
Empress, Ricardo, Kimberly. Okay, so you correct his spelling. Yep, so that's the order in which it came. And Herkide is laughing, Chocolate is laughing. Shout out, Byron. What is score? You give it to him already. You give it to him.
Okay, again. So the score as it is again, David 300 points, Truck Life 900 points, Empress 1,000 points, Ricky Ricardo in the lead 2,300 points.
And Kimberly is saying, I love the energy, really bad positive vibration. Thanks,
remember me tell you, Kimberly.
That's how we roll over here after some intense talking in terms of education and stuff, and looking at what is happening in other countries, how to unwind with these questions and stuff, and people can win credit. All right. Ricardo said, all right, me I go look food and come. All right, so let's see.
What Ricardo, the rundown?
Wait. We might try food. Truck Life.
Truck Life must try trick.
Truck Life said, take your time, Ricardo, no rush.
Truck Life must try trick here.
Truck Life said teasers for 300. All right, so the more you take, the more you leave behind. What are they? The more you take, the more you leave behind. What are they? Think about it. The more you take, the more you leave behind. What are they? All right. I see the answer that I am looking for. Oh my goodness. And Ricardo is saying, thanks for being here, Kimberly. There are nights when laughing can't done. And they say, don't run, walk slow, Ricardo. Him say, I'm taking my time. Yes, so you're going to get caped, see? We need a leg and a hip. Truck Life say, India, tell him again for me. Empress Ricardo, go to your bed. Truck Life say, crawl, Ricardo. Ricardo said, my bed wet up, Empress. I can't go in bed. All right, I see the answer that I am looking for, and is what is footsteps.
All right.
All right.
So let us see the lucky winner for that one.
And that is 300 points. So let's see who first came in with the correct response. And I see I'm looking for. So first on the board with the correct response is Empress.
Wow.
Footsteps is food.
And 300 points.
Got that, yeah. So what is food?
So the score as it is, David on 300 points, Truck Life 900 points, Empress 1,300 points, Ricky Ricardo still in the lead, 2,300 points.
Well, all I know who wants him for crawl and taking time and how to look him say him having KFC already, him just warming it up.
All right.
See? I have me KFC me there warm it
Done.
up. All right, so Empress is finishing brain teaser. Is Empress just Empress, sorry. All right, a man went outside in the pouring rain with no protection, but not a single hair on his head got wet. How comes? Run out on that one, everybody. You know everybody gonna run out on that one.
I want to see it.
Run out on it. It's a few whisper. Let me tell it, run out on it, people. Run out.
Run out. Now we see you. Ah!
All right, so I see the answer that I am looking for, and it is the man was bald, so he has no hair on his head. So I'm a bald.
Let me see who win this big point question. Yeah?
400
points. You listen, 400.
400 points.
Who take this?
Hold on, let me see who first came in with the correct response. All right. I was refreshed. So she asked a brain teaser there. So what is the head ball? Okay, so first is Ricardo. You see him did just giving us 6 to a 9, but him gone.
But him gone. Enough following people. He still did it. He still
So
did it.
Ricardo 400 points. Then Empress, Truck Life, Empress again corrected that. The Kimberly and Empress again. So Ricardo doing him cartwheel.
You want Ricardo wicked and you want him on them respond slow, you know. That's about him gone.
Okay, so he's saying people of the Bible for 500. Okay, so let's see. This man wrote most of the letters to the churches in the New Testament, and it's a double point
answers.
answer.
500.
So it's 1,000 points.
Man,
So
who
it's
is
a double
going to
point
who's going
answer.
to be the lucky winner for the 1,000 points?
So this man wrote most of the letters to churches in the New Testament. Who is this man?
Is it going to be Chuck Life for 1,000 points? Empress,
So you can't
1,000
hold that.
points. Chuck Life, 1,000 points. David, 1,000 points. Or any other person. Right? Who is coming up? Love on the board.
All right,
Right.
so let's see who first came in with
Kimberly
the
on
correct
the board.
response. So it is who is Paul. So let's see who first came in, and that will be 1,000 points because it's double point answer. All right, let me just refresh just to make sure. All right, so who is Paul? Ricardo, 1,000
Whoa.
points. The man who's supposed to be sorting out his food.
I tell you.
Then Chuck Clive, Kimberly, Empress.
I'm on coming vengeance of each of us.
Ricardo says, Sunday school student, we didn't have to know this.
All right. So points. David on 300 points. Chuck Life 900 points. Empress 1,300 points. Vicky Ricardo 2,700 points.
All right, so Ricardo. Okay, so he's finishing up Bibles for 100.
But David just come put on 300.
Oh, so I have to run, go do something, so
yeah.
come back.
Mine and told him in a 6 bars.
All right, so this man was the giant. This man was the giant fought by David. This man was the giant fought by David. Who is this man? Empress Baron, stop calling me name so strong.
Well, food.
All right. Look at all the Sunday school students. All right.
So much clothes, Empress.
Let's see who first came in with the correct response. And I see what I'm looking for. And it is who is Goliath. And that is for 100 points. So let's see who first came in with the correct response. Empress said 3,700, she did?
No, no, I'm on 1,300. Empress there.
No, I will just.
Ricky recorded upon 2,700 points.
Oh. All right, so first on the board with the correct response, let me refresh because everybody can run out with Goliath. So Empress, and that was for 100 points. So first on the board with Goliath is Empress,
For 100
then
points?
Shrocklife, then Nova, Ricardo. So Baron, fix my score. Who is Goliath?
So the score as we speak, David on 200
Baron,
points.
sorry, you didn't add the 1 to the 2.
Yeah, man.
Baron, pay attention. Listen to me. You didn't add the 1 to the 2. You said 2,700 plus 1,000. You put back 2,700. Please change that to 3,700. 2 plus 1 is 3.
Shit.
2 plus 1 is not 2.
Mistake. No, what's that? Sorry. Well, I mean, I'll let you know. Ricardo.
Me say,
You know,
Ricardo,
so we love bite off a piece of your score now. I saw you go up on a Friday.
Ricardo over here.
All right.
Trust me, might eat up himself. He might shout at you.
So,
Trust me.
the score as it is, David on 300 points, Chuck Life 900 points, Empress 1,400 points, Ricky Ricardo on 3,700 points.
Fix my score, boss, man. 3,700.
All right.
Hear him now. Him ever miss with my score. All right. So Empress is saying E for 100. She didn't finish typing. What you want for 100? Oh, 1,000. Oh, she's talking about the score. Okay, so she's saying famous people for 200.
Okay.
Just talking about the score that you should add. So famous people for 200. Who is this person? So famous Jamaican people. Remember, Jamaican. Oh, she has a Baranema for 1,000.
All right, you don't know how it.
Oh my goodness, let me go in the chat. Kimberly said, who else thinks that Ricardo need a vacation somewhere without internet? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, man, Kimberly, if you get a vacation with you.
Oh my God. All right, so I see the answer that I am looking for, and it is, who is Glenn Campbell or Titus? All right, so, and that is for 200 points. So let's see who first came in with the correct response. All right, famous people started there. So first on the board is the man who just returned, David.
All right.
For 200 points. Sorry,
200 points?
For 200 points, who is Glenn Campbell, then Shrocklife. Shrocklife again, him include Titus as well. Then Ricardo, Williams, you just put Glenn, then Kimberly, Glenn Campbell, okay. Ricardo said, Kimberly, what you want that happen? Kimberly said, laugh, I like you. Okay. David said, Kimberly, I agree with you. Then there's like Chuck Life who named Campbell guy. Oh my goodness. And Kimberly's playing, showing her, either says, showing her angelic self. And David is saying science job for 500. I study matter, energy, and forces. This could be anything from tiny particles to the entire universe. I study matter, energy, and forces. this could be anything from tiny particles to the entire universe. Who is this scientist? Right. Ricardo make Ricardo make the one name there. The cave say a bagging brain, I know. And I see the answer that I am looking for.
All right.
Who is a physicist? So who is a physicist? And that is for 500 points. So let's see who first came in with the correct response. And I am doing my due diligence and refreshing. So first on the board with the correct response is Empress. Then David, Empress for 500 points.
Empress for 500.
Okay, and she put it back again. Then nope. So Empress and David.
Okay, so the score as it is: David on 500 points, Chuck Life 900 points, Empress 1,900 points, and Ricky Ricardo in the lead 3,700 points.
Ricardo laughing. What a lele! May I tell you, make the chicken distract you. All right, Empress, choose the next category and for how many points? So yeah, like a little water, Ricky. So Ricardo can't move. All right, so she is saying, okay, so she's finishing the scientist, and that's for 100 points. I study animals and how they live, whether they are living or extinct. I study animals and how they live, whether they are living or extinct. Name the scientist. All right, I see the answer that I am looking for. It came in on rapid.
Yeah, Ricardo, who's a zoologist?
And the correct response is who's a zoologist. And that is for 100 points. So first on the board with the correct response is Ricardo for 100 points, who's a zoologist. Then we have William Family and Kimberly. All right, so Ricardo, choose the next category. Ricardo said, "Bad man, Baron, like a name." Oh my God.
So the score as it is: David on 500 points, Chuck Life 900 points, Empress 1,900 points, Ricardo, the big man, the general, 3,800 points.
Ricardo said, "Famous mother for 309." I know it means 300, Ricardo. All right, so let's see who is under there. All right, name this person.
Name that person.
All right, let me see what they're carrying on with over there. Name the person. As I said, 900 Chuck Life. Not now. I'm going to feel tonight, man. Oh my goodness! Name this person. Nope. She is an anchor for one of the news station, for one of the television stations. Sometimes she read the news. No, and she has a special program. I'm giving you a clue. Or must I say no, with helping the less fortunate as well.
What do you want to hold them?
May I tell you? I am telling you.
But they don't catch W score yet. Wow.
Nope. All right, I see the answer that I am looking for. Nope. So I am going to reveal. I see just one person with it. And who is Carolyn Brown? That's Carolyn Brown. And that is for 300 points. So first on the board with the correct response is Ricardo, and that's for 400 points for Carolyn Brown. All right. Yes, I know about it, as long as I know who you're talking about. All right, so
the score is...
Sorry, it's for 300. Sorry, it was for 300. May I give my extra 100? 300 for Ricardo. Thank you for that correction, Ricardo. So 300.
Ricardo kind of honest. Kind of. All right. So the score as it is: David on 500 points, Chuck Life 900 points, Empress 1,900 points, Ricky Ricardo 4,100 points.
All right, so him say famous Maddie for 100.
Like Ricky Ricardo go lick at top scorer tonight.
So like a million barrel. So famous person for 100. Who is this person?
Oh my goodness.
No whisper, because you whisper too loud. You whisper too loud.
Doggone what? I'm full of me go put doggone what?
Oh my God. All right, I see what I'm looking for. Okay, guys, remember we're not marking for spelling. We just want to know that this is the person that you're talking about. But Ricardo have me a pop. Ricardo say, who is TikTok man? Who is Border Cat?
Border Cat.
So that is who is Border Cat. All right, so you know what? Let me just release it from now, and that is for 100 points. So, so as I say, who is Radam Bass? All right, so let me refresh and see who came in first. All right, so first on the board with the correct response is Truck Life.
All right.
Then Empress 100. Then Empress. Then Nova. Danielle. Then Kimberly. She just put who is Cat.
Okay, who's the score?
And then Williams family.
And the score is David 500 points, Chuck Life 1,000 points, Empress 1,900, and Ricky Ricardo in the lead 4,100 points.
All right, so famous people for 400 per Truck Life. Who is this person? And it's double your score.
Double your score.
Let me sit back a little bit. I think I can relax a little bit on this one. I think.
Yeah.
Come on, older folks. Let's see who was paying attention in the 90s. And early 2000s, I think. But I remember the 90s. Who is this person?
If Ricky get the one that Ricky top score is going to be big, huge.
Thank you so much for still being here, India. What? It's what kind of pause this? No man, this pause too long. I know me could have relaxed a little bit, but not so. All right, I'll give you a clue. Look at his face. Look at his. Don't mean anything by it. Look at his skin color. When somebody is sick and vomiting, and you look on their color, their whole facial, color. I'm trying to give you a clue the best way that I can.
Look at
Regardless
this.
of me searching.
You know what you want me to say.
When somebody with their Jesus, I don't want to sound that way, but I am
Short
trying,
life say, who is brown man?
trying to give you a clue. When somebody gets
Because
nauseated
it's a
and they're
lines
gonna
of
vomit, how does their face look? It's all right. I don't know his real name, but this is stage name. Nope. All right, let me just see something here since he threw a name out in there.
Anyone like me, but you don't want to life say.
All right, let me just check something here regarding a name that I saw thrown out there. But I don't know him by that name. I know him by the stage name. Oh, finally. Finally, but it's a stage name we're looking for, but I'm just going to see something just out of curiosity. Nope. All right, so I see. Okay. I see what I am looking for. Who is Pale Face?
Mhm.
And it's double your score. So it is 400 added to whatever the score is, then double that. So let me
So you
remember
do your
that.
score and then you add that 400.
Mhm.
Okay.
All right. No, you add it and then double it.
Okay.
Mhm. All right. So let's see who first came in with the correct response. Oh my God, the amount of things that people throw out there. I think that was his correct name, Truck Life. One you put first, but then you still came back and put the stage name. All right, so I see you and India. So let's see who first came with the correct response. Refreshing. All right, so first on the board with the correct response is Truck Life.
And the score.
So
Okay.
add 400 to score
Yeah,
and
double
then
it.
double it.
Okay.
It's as I say, whole name Pale Face. Look him up. Type in Pale Face and then you Jamaican Pale Face. Maybe when you were growing up, you used to watch him, but you just don't remember.
Okay, so the score as it is. David on 500 points. Empress, 1,900 points. Short Life, winning that W score, 2,800 points. And Ricky Ricardo, 4,100
No,
points.
put Jamaican Pale Face, Ricardo, and you'll see it come up.
Okay, so
Yes, as I said, she really want to know who name, so. And yeah, Tony Hendricks. That's what I was saying. When
I think that Tony Hendricks
Truck Life put the name, that's his real name, but his stage name for the show
Pale
was
Face.
is Pale Face.
Tony Hendricks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how much?
Ricardo said, "What's him? I know him." Okay, well, you learned something new tonight about a Jamaican icon. All right, so I am going to do the last one. So it's the last one, so I will just reveal it. Who is this person?
Last one, 500 points.
Oh, Ricardo said him star in the Pings commercial. I'm not familiar with that commercial. Yes, that's his name is Tony Hendricks, but the show that he did he called himself Pale Face. Yeah, but Truck Life put Tony Hendricks initially, and then he went. So Truck Life would have gotten it either way because he's the only one who came with it initially. All right, so I see the answer that I am looking for, and it is who is Michael Lee Chin. And honestly, guys, is when I was doing this, I know really what he looked like.
Trust me, I first know.
What he looked like. So at least I learned something. All right, so and that is for 500 points. So let's see who first came in with the correct response. Never knew what he looked like until I was putting it together. All right, so let's see who first came in. I want to make sure I don't miss anybody up there. Okay. All right, so first on the board with the correct response is Ricardo Michael Lee Chin, then Truck Life.
How much points? Which points?
500.
Okay.
Then Ricardo said, ask if I him. Yes, it's him. Then Empress. Then watch Empress, I give the man extra last name. And did have extra last name too? Me never know that. Ricardo said first time, really? Yes. And Kimberly saying, thank you guys. I really, really enjoyed being here amongst you guys.
Thank you, Kimberly.
Crying like a big baby stressed out and depressed. But no, McKinsey like dogs, they are trying. So thank you. You are so welcome. And I hope whatever was stressing you out and causing you to be depressed, you can work it out. And thank you so much for joining, and have a blessed and wonderful night and a wonderful and blessed weekend. Really glad to have you, and you can join us at any time. We're here every Friday, and we put out the notification at what time, because work situation, sometimes we might come on a bit late, but we always put out a notification to say what time we're going to start.
All
All right, so congratulations to all the winners tonight, and thank you to everyone who participated. Really appreciate you guys, and really appreciate the fun that you put into it each week, and the laughter, and yeah.
So fourth place finisher David with 500 points. Empress in third place, 1,900 points. Truck Life, second place, 2,800 points. And the first place boss and General Ricky Ricardo ended with 4,600 points. Wonderful game. Well played. Right?
Okay. Empress is saying to her 223 flow. So
223 flow,
Mhm.
Empress?
Yes.
2, 2.
David said the little time I got was really enjoyable, and you went on the board at least 6 months. Okay, there was no fifth person tonight, and there was no sixth. Make sure I play it safe, but I grabbed 6 tonight.
No, sir. Take me.
Rocky Day said I didn't get any points, but it was fun. I really liked it. Okay, thank you so much, Rocky Day, for joining. That's the point.
Rocky Day.
To have fun as well as learn, and
Yeah, it's all about fun,
enjoyment. Yes. You
Yeah.
take after a long week of work, to find something to unwind, some brain teasers and stuff.
Me myself.
Laughter while learning at the same time.
Yeah, also although we are hosting Jeopardy, we really love it. Really, really love it.
All right, so let me stop sharing that. It's clean, and there we go. So Chuck Life is saying, wonderful topic, wonderful game as always. Thank you so much.
Bless up, Chuck Life.
Thank you so much for always being here supporting. Really appreciate it. And Ricardo said nothing down, can you get the news? David said yes, Ricky, I did. I'm celebrating. Okay, guys. Arlene, thank you so much for still being here. And Shirley saying congratulations to all the winners. Yes, congratulations to each and every one. So Ricardo, he won himself $1,000 credit, and the 3 runners up won themselves $500 credit each. Digicel or Flow, depending on what they choose to use. And I have everybody's contact information. Unless you want me to send it to any other number, then you can let me know on IG. And Sharon is blessing up Truck Life. And Kimberly saying, I will definitely be here again. Congrats, guys.
Thank you, Kimberly.
She said, Ricardo, think about the vacation. Okay, good night, guys. I pray for your protection and guidance till next time. Same to you. You walk safe and keep good.
There you
And
go.
be blessed. Ricardo is saying, let me tell you, the new year, David will promote his supervisor starting on Monday.
Wow,
Congratulations,
David.
David. Really deserve it.
All
Congratulations.
right.
So David, Ricardo can push you around again.
All right, boss.
Put you on shift for you can't get for play. Congratulations.
That's good, though. That's wonderful.
That's
really
really
wonderful.
good news.
Love the progress.
And it will be saying, thank you for keeping my company at work. 3 hours to go. Oh,
All
okay.
right.
I hope work is not too hectic for you. And yeah, I hope the 3 hours run off quickly.
All right.
All right. And Truck Life is saying, Mrs. and maximum respect to you for coming home and going straight to the live. Thanks.
Yes,
Truck
that's true.
Life,
That's
yeah.
so true. Truck Life.
Thanks, Truck Life. You know,
Right.
we
See,
always start to
she
be
hasn't come out of her uniform as yet. So
yeah, I was having a bit
Alright.
of a headache when I left first, and I just had to go take 2 Tylenol.
well, you see, the people love us now. We have to just simply love about the people.
And we love being here
Right.
with you guys, just interacting and sharing knowledge and stuff. And because what is happening affects each and every one of
Yes.
us, and we are not going to just be talking about it. We are going to try to find ways in which to come up with some solutions and involve everyone. We have some things working on, guys, and we're gonna let you know in due time as we work on
Yes.
them. So
Because we also intend to improve Jeopardy, right? So, you are here with us, so you will see the progress as well.
yep. So yeah. We just want to keep talking and talking. We want to help to find solutions and try to help in whatever way we can. So we have some things working on. It will take some time, but we will let you guys know as we go along. All right, and Ricardo is saying 303 digi number.
303 digit number?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Didn't want it.
303 digit number.
Oh, yes, we're still waiting on the team versus team night.
Yeah.
Yes, I guess we might have to touch base over IG
Yeah,
to
man,
find
we
a
need to-
convenient time because
Exactly.
Truck Life, Ricardo, Empress, and we try to iron it out and see how best
Yeah,
we
we need
can
to
do
sort
it
out
because
that.
it's gonna take a little brain power to come up with it to be like a team effort with everyone. We might have to
So 303 for again? Digit?
yeah, 303. I don't know. We'll have to figure out. Yeah, team night sounds really difficult. Yes, Truck Life, it's gonna take some real thinking to figure out how we're gonna put it together and make it work, so that the teams are displayed and yeah, we'll have to think about it. Really
Yeah,
hard.
we will get there. We will get there.
Yeah, Truck Life is saying my schedule is never sure. I can get called to work for work anytime. Yes, that's true because you've been on and I've been called out already. So yeah. All right, guys. So we have come to the end. Ricardo said, you say I'm corrupt. No problem, Truck Life. You can stay out of it. Trevor, the competition. Wait a second, make sure he's your teammate. So that there's no competition there. And we have to figure out to make it fair. We're gonna have to pick. You're not gonna pick your
We
own
are not
team.
going
We're
to
gonna
make-
raffle the team.
Exactly. To
So
make
make
Shuttle
it-
Life and
Ricardo
Ricardo being teammate. They are
Right,
too
so
strong. They are too strong
some
players.
thoughts coming to me. Yeah,
You-
we'll raffle
use a-
the team.
Use a strong
Team
person
members.
with a person who is not that strong.
All right, so Arlene is laughing. David say, you see, oh the boy bad man. All right, and Arlene is laughing. Okay, guys, so we've come to the end, and thank you so much for joining in. Really appreciate each and every one of you taking the time out of your Friday night or Saturday morning, depending on where you are, to join us. We don't take it for granted, as I keep saying. We really appreciate each and every one and for the support that we have gotten so far. It's road to 2K. So take your friends' phone and share, and get the subscription.
Yeah,
up to
road
support
to
the
2K.
channel.
All right.
If the sign is still there. Yeah, so road to 2K, we are on the way there slowly but surely. We appreciate each and everyone who shows us support. We know that there are many other channels out there that you can be supporting, but you're supporting us, and we really appreciate. And we need to support each other, and so that each other can grow. So that is important as well. Ricardo said, no, sir, Truck Life is my enemy from him go link with Tommy. Tommy not here tonight to take you on. Okay, Arlene is saying, have a blessed night, everyone.
Bless up yourself, Arlene.
Truck Life said, Truck Life and Ricardo and a team sounds unfair.
Yeah.
Well, when we raffle it, it's wherever the chips fall. So we'll see when it comes there. So nobody's gonna choose their teammate. We're gonna put everybody who's gonna participate name in a bag or something,
and we are gonna raffle it.
Right, make it fair. And Ricardo is saying, have an amazing night, guys, and get rest for the weekend. Yes. And Truck Life is saying, Ricardo, it was Tommy that linked with me. And Truck Life is saying, Tommy set me up. Ricardo is saying, is me and Empress on the same team? David said that nah happen. David said, gonna watch back over the discussion segment. Have an amazing rest of the night and weekend, guys.
All
And
right.
stay
Thank
safe.
you, David.
Thank you so much. And Paula, Alan is in the building. Welcome.
Big up yourself, Paula.
She says, I've been missing your life a lot. I have a new job now. It's been hectic on me. That's why I haven't been posting either. Just got in from work. Okay,
Okay.
no, Paula, no
Yes.
problem. Thank you so much. You're here. We appreciate the thumbs up and stuff, and just you joining in. We know
Bless up.
life happens because it happens with us too. So, and
Of course.
whatever is happening out there, you have to make sure that you secure your job to pay
Yeah, man.
your bills and stuff.
Don't worry about
And
it,
you
Paula.
just put in the
We'll
time
always
when you
love you
can.
here.
Because you realize we've not been posting much videos in between lives
Yeah.
because it's gotten really hectic for us as well. I have a few things I need to put up because the update on the house in Jamaica, I just need to voice over that. I need to find the time. So we have the update for you. I still have the update for the basement because you're seeing here that we're sitting for the basement. You have not seen the room and the bathroom and the other stuff that we did with the basement, with building up the basement. I still have that for you. And there's a few little short snippets that I need to put out. And I rely mostly on my son for the editing, and he works crazy hours as well. So it's sort of difficult for us right now, but we're gonna try to find the time to get them out. Yep. So I make promises. I might not come right away, but I remember my promises, guys, and it will be coming. And Paula is saying, okay, no problem. Yes, Paula, you just put in the work when you can, and we understand because life goes on outside of YouTube. Okay.
Sure, certainly.
All right. So, guys, over on Facebook, thank you so much for joining. I see all of you there. Really appreciate you guys being here on YouTube. Everybody have a wonderful and blessed. Every week you will have to party. You have a wonderful and blessed weekend and a wonderful and productive week. Until next week, stay safe, walk good, keep safe.
All right.
Bye.